This is great news for Orlando Magic basketball fans as Franz Wagner has continued to work on his jump shot. We're going to be talking about how he's playing in preparation for Eurobasket with Team Germany, and ESPN came out with under-the-radar problems for each contending team. You can probably guess that it is a bit connected to this team's shooting, so we're also going to be mentioning that article in today's video. Guys, welcome to Magic Digest. I'm your host, Patrick Previty. This is your one-stop shop for Orlando Magic basketball content here on YouTube. Trying to build an Orlando Magic basketball community, so make sure that you subscribe. All of the articles that I mentioned in this video are going to be linked down below, as well as my other channel, the Big Little Podcast, where with the NFL season ramping up and the NBA right around the corner just after that, we're going to be coming out with a ton of videos for you guys. And again, as you can see, we're in a new place, new set. So guys, thank you so much for the support on this channel since I've been gone. Let's keep it up. Now, this article and a lot of blurbs comes from Orlando Magic Daily, but they're talking about the previous weekend friendly that they had against Slovenia as they're gearing up to play in the Eurobasket tournament. That will be August 27th, I believe is the start date. Wagner, everybody watching how that shot is. How does it look? It almost doesn't even matter if it goes in. Obviously, we're going to get to a point where it does matter, but we need to get rid of that hitch in his shot. He shot 6 3-point attempts, only made one. That is 16.6%. Quick math right there, but he still played well, and the hitch only seemed to be apparent in one of his shots. Now, we're just going to have to keep an eye on that, but it looks like he has definitely worked on it. That is definitely priority number one. We're going to get into some of the other priorities as well just in a second, but that is the biggest thing that he's working on. And just in classic Franz fashion, if you will, he also had a good game. During the weekend, he wasn't really shooting the basketball all that well, but his shot looked good and it looked clean. He still had a very good game and a very efficient shooting performance. I guess his shooting performance from three wasn't that good, but the rest of it, the bottom line was still good. He had 18 points on 6 of 13 shooting, and got into the lane, got to the rim, and they won, Team Germany, over Slovenia in an 80-70 game. They swept the weekend-friendly series. Luka Doncic sat out Sunday's game, but still, he looked kind of. And, he looked like he could still play offense. And, that's not something that teams are, honing in on and stopping him from being, a factor whatsoever. So that's definitely a good sign. Now, Franz also was able to move onto the block. He's been working on his post game. That's been something that he has mentioned before. When asked what is the second thing that he is doing as far as his shooting, it is getting into the post, making sure that he is more efficient in that area. There were only a couple players per possession that were producing more points than Franz Wagner, and that was on the Orlando Magic, and that was Mo Wagner and Goga Bitadze. Now, the highlight of Sunday's game for Franz, as a scorer at least, he played a nice 2-on-1 assist to Dennis Schroeder in the third quarter, and he had a chase down block as well. But just as a scorer, he made a move in the second quarter, got his defender in the mid-post and began backing him down, spinning the baseline. They're having him play a lot of that power forward position because a couple of their bigs weren't in the lineup, and they're using him like that. As we know, we can probably see him anywhere from you can even see him at the point guard position, but we can see him from the 1 through 4, 2 through 4 mainly. So it's really good. He's using that size when a lot of teams, specifically as we've seen now in international play, have tried to put a smaller player on him, make sure that he can't drive past them and get to the rim whenever he wants to. And he's been able to offset that with a good post game, because if he can't really get to the rim and he doesn't feel comfortable taking that shot, he's able to get into the down on the block, into the post, and he's been able to score. That's been really, really positive for him. The points per possession obviously were on post-up possessions per game last year. That was 69th percentile in the league for post-ups. So there's plenty of room for improvement as well with that. But shooting, the look of it was good. The shots from three weren't falling exactly, but he was still efficient around the court, had a plus 19 plus minus. And for Franz, as we all know, and as I've said in this video, he has certainly been able to have efficient games, have impactful games, despite that shooting performance not being exactly where we want it to be. I think that that's a really good sign. I was the one who was really banging my hand on the table last year saying that this is a problem, this is going to bite us, and the Celtics certainly made it known that this Orlando Magic team wasn't going to be able to score. Franz Wagner wasn't going to be able to support Paolo Banchero. So hopefully that is not going to be the case this upcoming year. Now, let's get into what ESPN said as far as the under-the-radar problem for this Orlando Magic basketball team. Obviously, they have the NBA championship odds. I challenge anybody, if you're really interested, go take a look at this article because they include a ton of different teams as the Thunder, Cavs, Knicks, you name it. They're all in it. Orlando seeks to fix its most obvious issue, which I guess wouldn't really be an under-the-radar issue to ESPN, but it's a good segue, so you have to stick with me. Three-point shooting, as the team ranked last in three-point makes and accuracy last season. Those would probably be the same thing, right? With the addition of Desmond Bane from Memphis, one minor downside of the Bane deal is that the Magic traded two guards, KCP and Cole Anthony, for one. Well, decent math there, I guess, from ESPN. But as we all know, both of those players at times last year were non-factors, both in the postseason. Sorry, Cole Anthony had a great game in the play-in game against the Hawks. And though Orlando signed Tyus Jones in free agency, the team also lost Corey Joseph and Gary Harris from last season's rotation. I am starting to question if this guy watched Orlando Magic basketball. But we must continue. In the wake of those transactions, the Magic look extremely thin on the perimeter, which could be concerns as they use bench lineups, and in the event that last season's injury issues reoccur. If Orlando wants to make a real run at the top of the Eastern Conference standings, it will need a few youngsters to make a leap in 2025-26. Is Anthony Black ready for a bigger role? Can Tristan da Silva build on a decent rookie season and boost his jumper, 33.5% on three-pointers, to where it was in college, 39.5% in his final two seasons? Is Jett Howard an NBA-caliber player? Might Jace Richardson contribute as a rookie, or Jonathan Isaac be able to play more than 15 minutes per game? I don't know if I challenge everybody to read it just because it's good food for thought, but there's a lot of different things. It almost seems like he read my mind of all of the different things that I could possibly disagree with were in this little blurb by ESPN. Where do we go first? Okay. As I mentioned, KCP and Cole Anthony for part of this season were just non-factors. Cole Anthony was in the doghouse way too much to be consistent, and KCP, as we all know, was a major bust as a free agent signing. That was extremely disappointing for this team, and I know for a big part of this fan base. Now, when we take a look at Corey Joseph and Gary Harris, both of those guys put in decent minutes at times this year. Gary Harris maybe more specifically on the defensive end. Corey Joseph late in the season whenever he was able to become that other point guard for this team, especially whenever we felt like we were thin and Jamahl Mosley didn't really want to trust Anthony Black. But still, both of those guys felt like they had an expiration date as far as them being on this Orlando Magic basketball team. Did not feel like they were a part of what this team could end up being this upcoming year. So I feel like, you kind of let those guys go, and you do answer yes to, is Anthony Black better or ready for a bigger role? Definitely, I would say so based off of what we watched last year. Does he solve the shooting problem? Probably not in this third season yet. He's still working on it for himself. Can we put that burden on him next year? I don't think so. But as far as a facilitator role, somebody that we can rely on if Jalen Suggs isn't 100% at any time during this season, I would say the answer to that is yes. Absolutely. And can Tristan da Silva build on a decent rookie season and boost his jumper? I would imagine he's going to get more offensive opportunity as the season goes on. We saw his minutes kind of go down as the year progressed. I think Jamahl Mosley will have to trust Tristan da Silva at certain points this upcoming year and be able to take some of that load as far as the front court scoring is concerned off of Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, especially when we're waiting for some of those big guys to pan out and how we want to use them, who is even going to be here during the trade deadline. I think we're going to have to invest in a wing like Tristan da Silva who can shoot. Also, maybe a little bit disingenuous to ask if he can match his college statistic, which was at 40% in his second year. Like, if you look at his rookie year, he was 33.5%, and he had to move the line back. Like, I'd imagine he's going to improve going into his second year, especially if he gets more consistent opportunities. Is Jett Howard an NBA caliber player? We'll talk about this maybe in another video. Jace Richardson contributed. Will he be able to contribute as a rookie, or Jonathan Isaac be able to play more than 15 minutes per game? Jonathan Isaac was healthy last year, so hopefully he can do that. It's just about Jamahl Mosley and who he's going to go with as far as the big rotation is concerned. And Jace Richardson, you guys know how I feel. I like the pick. Obviously, Walter Clayton Jr. wasn't available on the board, but Jace Richardson, I think, is going to be a very talented player in this NBA, and I think he can. But, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Obviously, this is a lot to take in, so gather your thoughts and let me know. I always love reading them. But as always, we're going to see you guys next time with more Orlando Magic basketball content.